Hi, I'm Paul Wagner. I'm here at Bridge Gardens and just wanted to talk about fall lawn renovation. Fall is really the best time to work on seeding your lawn for a couple of reasons. Number one, grass seed germinates the best when the air is warm during the day and cool at night. You still have good warm soil for the seed to germinate, but you don't have to deal with the hot temperatures, so there's no stress on the grass. The next reason is there won't be a lot of competition from weed seeds. They're done germinating for the season, so any area that picked up quite a bit of crabgrass or other weeds, annual weeds, they will be going senescent, dying off for the winter, and now is the best time to boost up your lawn and increase the density and choke out those weeds proactively for next season. So the fall is the best time to plant grass seed. So when it comes to seeding your lawn, one of the most important things is to actually sow the seed, and by that I mean to actually get it in good contact with soil. There's a number of different ways to do that. There is some equipment like a slit seeder or a slice seeder that actually will make a groove or a furrow in the soil, and then the seeds get deposited there. But it's very easy to just use a rake or a garden weasel. And you can see we have a bit of a bare spot here. You can throw some seed on the top, and then it can be worked right into the soil just with a little bit of elbow grease with a rake. And as long as you have good seed to soil contact, and that again could be done with a machine or by hand, both are extremely effective. As long as you have good seed soil contact, and now you can't even really see most of the seed we put down because the soil's kind of covering it. You don't want it super deep in the soil, maybe just 1/16 of an inch, 1/4 inch, nothing even as deep as a 1/2 inch. And you'll have good seed soil contact. And this is the one time a year I would say it's okay to cut your grass short so that the sunlight gets in and gets that new seed to germinate. During the spring and summer, you want the grass as tall as possible so the sunlight doesn't get in for the weed seeds. But now we're trying to grow grass seed in the fall. You can cut the grass a little shorter and let more sunlight in. So there are three really common types of turf grass that we can use here on Long Island very successfully. Turf type tall fescue is probably our best universal grass. Kentucky bluegrass is the one that everybody loves, and then there's perennial ryegrass, and they each have their place. Most of the turf grasses we use, they're called cool season grasses, and that means that in midsummer, when it's around 80 degrees, they all want to be dormant. Tall fescue will stay active longer than most into the maybe mid-80s, and so that will keep your color and still grow robustly when everything else really wants to go dormant. So that also has a much more robust root system than rye and bluegrass, and so that kind of makes it really the best all-around grass. It's good for sun and shade. It does have a more coarse blade, a wider blade than bluegrass and ryegrass, and some people like the finer blades on the ryegrass and bluegrass. The fescue is a bunch type grass, so it grows in a bunch, and then the bunches coalesce to make a lawn. Bluegrass is a spreading grass, and so it will move laterally and fill in bare areas. And so it's nice to have a little bit of a blend of the different types of grass. In addition, having a blend helps prevent, if one grass is stressed out but the other one isn't, one grass might senesce a little bit and the other one can kind of still maintain some color for you. So it's nice to have a blend of some different grasses. So this is a core aerator, and like its name indicates, it actually pulls cores or plugs out of the soil. It has tines, and those tines are hollow, and basically you run it over the lawn. It will sink in, and you get maybe 2 to 4 inches depending on how soft the soil is, and it will pull plugs out of the ground. It's particularly effective where you have an issue with maybe some surface compaction and you want to open the soil up a little bit, it will pull plugs out and allow the soil that's adjacent to kind of collapse a little bit, soften up, and over the long run, improve your soil structure a little bit. And so this is an aerator. It's many times used with as part of a lawn renovation, where we'll deal with compaction, and then maybe we'll move from aerating to use of a slit seeder, and that's just this device. And all this does, very similar to just using a garden weasel or a cultivating rake, it just has these teeth or these knives, and it just makes nice little slits or furrows in the soil. So that rotates and it just makes grooves in the soil or a little furrow, and that's where we deposit seeds. This one actually has a little hopper in the back that we fill with grass seed, and so it makes your grooves and it drops the seed right behind them in the grooves, and you can set the depth to many different settings depending on what kind of terrain you have, and basically you're just creating those grooves, and that's how you get your seed to germinate very well for your fall lawn renovation.